Good morning, dear students. How are you all? I hope you are all doing good and working really very hard. So, let's do one more problem from book Irodo Kinematics chapter and question number 1.10. So, without wasting any more time, let's read this question. What is given? Two bodies are thrown simultaneously from the same point. Okay, from same point, two balls are thrown. Okay, one is straight up, vertically upward, and other at an angle theta is equal to 60 degree. Okay, so this is theta actually. This is here. They wanted to say this is theta. Fine. Okay, theta is equal to 60 degree. The initial velocity of each object is v naught, 25 meter per second. So this is really easy questions. Two particles are projected from same point with same speed. Only difference is their angle, and we have to find the distance between the two bodies at t is equal to 1.7 second later. Okay, this is easy question. We will only first we will derive a formula by which we can calculate at any time, and then we will just put the value of time and calculate the answer required in this question. Okay, fine students. So whatever situation is given, let's draw that situation first. So suppose this is a point, this is building maybe, from where particle is thrown. So one particle is thrown just vertically upward. So let's throw one particle vertically upward. So this particle is thrown with velocity 25 meter per second, and let's say this particle is 1, and another particle just here is thrown at an angle 60 degree. Okay, so let me draw a little bit bigger because I will have to do components also. So this is 25 and at an angle 60 degree. Okay, fine. So this is particle 2. Now they said that at the same time they are projected. So at time t is equal to 1.7, at time t is equal to 1.7, what will the distance? So there is two way. We can solve either in ground frame, or we can solve in with respect to any of these two particles. And solving with respect to any of these two particles will have an advantage also. I will discuss that. But yes, we can obviously solve this question from ground frame. So I will simply say the steps which we will follow to solve question in ground step, and then I will come to relative motion only, because this is the analyzing the situation using relative motion concept is really important, because it will make question lot easier. So let me just give you idea how we will approach in from the ground frame. Suppose a person is standing on the ground and he will be seeing both object, and we will then solve. So after 1.7 second, maybe suppose this particle has reached this place, right? And suppose this ball may go here. We don't know the exact position. So actually the final distance will be this, right? This is what we have to find. So one way is that let me find first the distance h1 or the height h1 that particle 1 has achieved at t is equal to 1.7 second. This is one. Secondly, I will also find the coordinates of the second particle. Like this particle must have traveled something in x direction also, and something in y direction also, right? This is how particle 2 also reached at this point. This is final point of two particle. This is how. So this if I say this is origin, then obviously you would say, let me delete this final. This will become x comma y, where this is x and this is going to be y. And now x, how can we find x? Now we will do component of 25 for second particle, So if we want to solve this in ground frame, then we will have to do component that will be 25 cos 60, and 25 cos 60 will be uh, half 25 by 2, and one more component is this one. So this will become 25 into root 3 by 2. This is the second component, and now we will solve. Now we know that in horizontal, in x direction, there is no acceleration. Acceleration is only in vertically downward direction. In x direction there is no acceleration. So as there is no acceleration in x direction, the component of velocity in horizontal direction will not change, and simply the horizontal displacement will happen with the rate or with the velocity 25 root 2 25 by 2 meter per second. So I will write x, the horizontal displacement of particle 2 will be 25 by 2 into d simply. And for calculating y, we know that because there is constant acceleration, and we know which equation to use. Y is equal to displacement is equal to ut plus half a square, ut plus half a2 square. And to use this equation, we must have a sign convention. So let's take upward as positive by convention, which we use upward as positive. Then we will write, obviously then acceleration to gravity is downward, so acceleration will be negative, and initial velocity in vertical direction, that is 25 by root 2. Let me write. So y will be ut plus half d square. So u is plus, obviously, because it is moving upward in positive direction. Ut plus minus of g, so it will come minus in between, minus half gt square. So half into g, that is, let's say 10 into t square. This is how we will solve. So we will get y. Now and this is here h1. How we will get h1? For 1 also I will do the same. h1 is equal to ut plus half t square. So u1 into t plus half into a1 into t square. This is how I will go. And finally, let me write a little bit fast. 25t minus half into g into t square, because acceleration of particle 1 is also g, but in vertical downward direction. That's why minus came here. And g is obviously 10. I will use g as 10 meter per second square. So this will be h1. Now if we want to solve, then I think really easy will be to use geometry. This is one way. We know that for distance we can use Pythagoras theorem. This is height something. So this will be h1 minus y, this y, right? And this x, we know this is x, which we have already calculated. So final distance will be h1 minus y whole square plus x square and the under root of all this. This is going to be the answer. So my aim here is not to make you understand this concept. Actually, you already know how to solve this way. This is from the round frame. You have been doing all this thing, finding height and distance in 10th class also. So this is not really the deal. I wanted to explain you that how easy it can become if we apply relative velocity concept. So let's solve this question by relative velocity concept, and you will be amazed to see how beautifully this question can be solved, how easily it can be handled. Okay students, so let's now find out how by using the relative motion concept we can solve this problem really in easy way. See, the main thing about projectile motion is whichever particle is thrown, all the particle will be having acceleration vertically downward, and that is equal to g. Even particle 1 is thrown vertically upward, but its acceleration is g, and particle 2 also is thrown this way, but its acceleration is also g. So acceleration, the relative acceleration is 0 actually, right? And relative acceleration is 0, it means relative velocity is constant. This is the main thing. Means with respect to time, velocity of one particle as seen by other is not going to change. And when I am saying a vector is constant, I am saying that direction and magnitude both are constant. So whatever relative velocity constant means V final will be equal to V initial. Whatever initial velocity was there, that will be the velocity finally only also. So okay, let's use this now. Let's solve this question with respect to 1. So we must know that an observer always find himself at rest. So with respect to particle 1 is at rest. So he is not moving. Okay, fine. And what was the velocity of particle? Particle 2 was here, and its velocity was this. This was particle 2. Velocity of 2. This is particle 2. In order to observe particle 2's velocity, second particle's velocity, particle 1 what will do? Particle 1 will reverse its own velocity and gives to 1. You must know that. You must know that. What I just told you, that we know that velocity of particle 2 with respect to 1, if I will write, what I will write? Velocity of 2 minus velocity of 1, right? This can be written as velocity of 2 plus minus of v1. So we can see with respect to, if we want to observe velocity of particle 2 as seen by 1, what we have to do? We have to take resultant of v2 and minus of v1. So what actually we are doing? We are adding opposite of v1 vector to v2 in order to observe the velocity of 2 with respect to 1. So you must remember one thing. If you want to observe any object, then what you must do? You must reverse your velocity and add to the velocity of the object and take resultant. So here observer is 1. So what observer did? He reversed its velocity and add it to the object's velocity. And now this he will take the resultant. That particle will take the result. Okay, fine. So we know that this angle is actually 60 degree and this is 90 degree, and we have to take resultant of this vector and this vector. We have to take resultant of this plus this, and we already know that now velocity of 2 with respect to 1, that is velocity of 2 plus minus of velocity of 1. So we are actually adding two vectors, right? So resultant of addition of two vector is under root of, we all know that we will write v1 square plus v2 square plus v1 v2 into cos of I think 150, right? 90 plus 50, 90 plus 60. This is, so we can solve now. v1 v2 all are same, so we will get 25, and here we will get 20 minus, here we will get 20 minus, this is 2 into cos of 90 plus 60. What we can get here? Cos of 90 plus 60, we will get sine 60. I think I am right. And here we can solve 2 minus root 3, I think. So this is going to be the relative velocity. We can solve it, but I am not solving just now. So this is the velocity. So as seen by 1, what is being observed to 1? 1 is at rest, simply he is at rest, and he is finding that particle 2 is now moving in this direction, and it's continue to move in this direction, and distance keep on increasing. This is the simplest possible situation that we can imagine. So in frame of 1, the motion is really simple. Particle 2 is moving in a straight line with velocity this, and now distance will be after some time t, velocity of 2 with respect to 1 into t. And now let's solve this. So now I have actually solved this. So I am getting 25 into something 0.59. I just solved it. Okay, so if I put this is something 0.51, I think, into what is time, 1.7 second, and if we solve we will get 22 meter. This is really easy question. So if you use relative concept, this is just one line question, but yes, I had to explain, so I took time, and I have also explained in between some all these concepts also. If you know relative concepts, if you are the master of relative concept, then for you this is just 30-second to 1 minute question. Okay students, we will again meet in next video. We will solve the next problem. Okay students, happy learning. Don't forget to subscribe.